Hey there. Today we are talking with an iconic rock and roll drummer. One of my favorite bands, Lynyrd Skynyrd. It is Michael Cartellone. Hey, thanks for checking in, Michael.
Thank you, Jodi. I could not be happier to be here, and thank you for the invite.
Oh, you're so welcome. And we have so much to get to today because I know Lynyrd Skynyrd kicking off the tour here in West Palm Beach just a couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that. I know that there's a movie in theaters right now. I want to get to that. But we'll start with your big art event that'll be here the day before the show. But Michael, I wanted to say, I think we've met before.
Have we?
All right. So I was on a Lynyrd Skynyrd Gimme 3 Days concert cruise to the Bahamas
Yeah, I
back
remember
in
that.
like '07, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you were part of that, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We did 8 cruises, and I was
Eight
there on
cruises.
every one getting nauseous.
I mean, I'll just take a minute to tell you that. I mean, it was a great time. It was a blast. But Lynyrd Skynyrd fans, I mean, they are just so true. And
Yeah.
they came from every corner of the earth
Oh,
to
yeah.
be on this cruise that left from South Florida.
Yeah, and not only on the one that you were on, Jodi, but we had, repeat cruisers that were coming in from, international ports. And um, yeah, it's really great to have that kind of love and support from the Skynyrd fans.
Yeah.
And the cruises, as you experienced, are really fun because that enables us to have interaction that we never could have during the course of a tour.
Yeah. They were diehard fans, and everyone that we met came from a different country. And then that's when I realized
Yeah.
how big Skynyrd is, not only in the US, but all over the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
You can go into a concert in any country, regardless of the band on stage, and yell "Freebird," and
yeah.
people know what you're talking
Exactly.
about.
So I used to work for a nationally syndicated radio show based out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. And the guys in Skynyrd were friends of the show, and they used to come by the studio very often.
Mm.
Johnny, Ricky, and Billy Powell, may he rest in peace.
Amen.
Those guys used to come in all the time and we would just have a blast. So I love you guys. And even though you and I never hung out, I feel like I know you.
Well, thank you very much. And you're right. Those three guys are wonderful people and the kind of people that would do that. They would show up so much you'd have to lock the door after a while.
It was very funny. It was
Yeah,
like an ongoing joke because they lived up the street. They would just pop in.
sure.
So I love them and I love the band. So you have this very special event at the Wentworth Gallery at the Seminole Casino Hard Rock and Casino the day before the tour kicks off in West Palm. Your show, the art show, July 20th. So I didn't even know you were a fine art artist. What came first for you, art or drumming?
Art.
Yeah.
So when I was 4 years old, um, I had just finished the kindergarten school year, and the teacher said to my parents, he seems to really like drawing and painting. You might want to encourage that. So the summer in between kindergarten and first grade, my parents enrolled me in an art course. And it
Okay.
was at the Cleveland Institute of Art, Cleveland, Ohio, which is where I'm from.
Uh-huh.
And that began a lifelong magical journey of painting. Drumming began when I was 9 years old. At
Okay.
which point, then, those two coexisted and have never not been a part of my daily life. In my brain, they are two halves of a whole. I cannot imagine only doing one. For me, they balance, they nurture, they complement each other, and I've done them together my whole life that they are completely connected in here.
Two creative outlets for you.
Yeah, just two forms of expression, but I like to say on any given day, I'm a drummer who's painting or a painter who's drumming.
And you know what? We do a lot of these interviews, and I've noticed that a lot of musicians, famous musicians, also are artists on the side. I mean, you take, for example, Ron Wood, or Rick Allen from Def Leppard. I mean, there's, the list goes on, and all you guys are so good. So your latest collection is a tribute to Ringo and the Beatles. And I just want to ask you the inspiration behind that. Is Ringo one of the people you looked up to when you were first learning to be a drummer and becoming a musician?
Absolutely. My older sisters had Beatle records playing.
Right.
They immediately became my favorite band, and he immediately became my favorite drummer
Okay.
as a little kid before I even began drumming. The new painting, which will be unveiled at this Wentworth show, is called Ringo. And it's an idea that I had in the back of my head for about 15 years, which is
Right.
not uncommon. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always coming up with ideas and just putting them on a list on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Ringo painting has been sitting there for 15 years. Um,
Wow.
and what the painting shows is the iconic rooftop concert that they did in 1969, which was their very last live performance.
Yes.
And the vantage point of the painting is what it was like to be Ringo. So you, the viewer, are
Right.
Ringo. You are sitting behind his drums. You're seeing the drums, the cymbals, the three Beatles in front of him, and the London skyline beyond that. And I spent a full year working on this painting, and many, many months prior to starting researching, because I wanted to make sure everything was as authentic as possible. So the look of the drum heads, the way they were aged and discolored, and the cymbals being tarnished, what the Beatles, of course, were wearing, um, and then the buildings across the street. I went to the extent of researching the brick and mortar pattern. So it is
Lots of detail
exactly
there.
this is
Lots of
exactly
detail.
as it appeared. Um,
Yeah.
and it's a big painting. It's 5 feet across, 3 feet
Oh,
tall,
wow.
and could not be more proud of that. So that is going to be part of this exhibit on the 20th. As is the painting I just finished about 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that painting is called 50. It is a tribute to Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Right.
And of course, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Pronounced album,
Very first album,
which
right?
came out in very first album came out in August 1973. So the tour that we're about to kick off is a celebration of the band's 50th anniversary. The
Mm-hmm.
painting is a tribute to the 7 band members from the first album, Pronounced.
Wow.
And much like the Ringo painting, and for that matter, everything else I've done,
Yeah.
I'm not a spontaneous person in any way. I am a research, study, plan, prepare, and then start working. So for the Skinner painting, I studied countless photos, and consequently, the painting is a portrait of the 7 guys, but it does not look like any photograph that exists because it's
Oh.
taken from all these various sources. I mean, even so much as, capturing a nose from one painting, one
Wow.
photograph, and the eyes from a different photograph, and truly creating a new, unique thing.
So you said you just finished it like 2 weeks ago. Have the other guys in the band seen it yet?
Yes, because just last week we
Yeah.
were in Nashville rehearsing, creating a new show that
Mm-hmm.
we're going to kick off for
In
everyone.
what
So it's
in
going to be
what's
a lot
called?
of new fun things to see. I had a reproduction made on canvas
Okay.
um, for Johnny Van Zant because his brother is front and center.
Of
And
course.
I brought it to him and presented it to him because I wanted everyone else in the band to see it at the rehearsal last week, and that was a
Okay.
really good moment.
And did you get Johnny's stamp of approval?
Oh yeah, he was knocked out.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, and I will tell you that I had been showing Johnny photos. Hey, I just finished Leon. Here he is. Hey, I just finished Bob Burns. Here he is. So, but I didn't want Johnny to see his brother until the whole painting was done.
Right,
And
right.
I thought the coolest thing was just to have it be finished and signed to him. And that
How
was a fun
nice.
moment.
So you will have prints, there will be prints of this available at the gallery event
Yes.
for
Um,
purchase for fans?
yes. So they're going with the theme. There are 50 of these only,
Okay.
signed
Wow.
and numbered. And they are canvas prints. So they're really beautiful quality. They look exactly like the painting. And not only will there be one on the wall at the Hard
At the
Rock
gallery.
Seminole, but
Mhm.
Wentworth's Gallery chain, which goes up and down the East Coast,
Yes.
will all have them, as well as, people could just go on the wentworthgallery.com.
Okay. To see it and
Yeah, I mean, they
purchase.
could actually, it's already on that site, so people could see it right now.
Nice.
And then you could see the locations and the contact information. Um, so people don't necessarily have to live where there is a Wentworth Gallery.
Right,
They,
right,
they
which
could
is
get it through
good.
the website.
Yeah, but we definitely want to invite everyone to come see them in person.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, on the 20th. Now, you guys also there's a movie in theaters right now for a limited time. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So back in November of 2022, we did a performance in Nashville at the very famous Ryman Auditorium.
Mhm.
And we filmed it for a PBS special that is going to air in August to
Okay.
coincide with the 50th anniversary. Um, I'm very proud to say that Gary Rossington
Yeah.
and his lovely wife Dale were there that night.
Yeah.
Well, we had no way of knowing that that was going to be Gary's last show, but in fact, it was filmed, which
It was
is
filmed.
pretty unbelievable.
And my condolences.
Oh,
I
thank you,
want to
thank you.
pass
Yeah,
those
Gary
along.
was, God bless him. What a great man. What a great friend. Also a hardcore Beatles fan. And I would say in the 26 years I knew Gary Rossington,
Yeah.
99% of our conversations were about Beatles. It's just what it was. So yes, God bless him. Rest in peace, Gary. He's with all of his bandmates from the
Yes.
pronounced album.
Yes.
So yes, we filmed this show, and even though the PBS broadcast is going to happen in August,
Mhm.
it was decided that it would be fun to do a very short term. In some cities, it's only one night
Mhm.
of the 90-minute concert film. And it's happening right now. It just started a couple days ago.
Yeah.
My wife and I are going to go see it Wednesday night here in New York City. So, yeah, people could see that. If memory serves, between July 8 and 14 is
That
when,
is what I read.
yes.
Yes, that
And
that
you
is
can
what
go
I
on
read.
the Skynyrd website, and it lists the cities, dates, times, and theaters. Not
And
only movie
theaters.
theaters, but drive-ins as well.
And I will pass that along to our listeners, but
Yeah.
that's really exciting. You have so much going on, getting ready for the tour. So you guys are in rehearsals now
Well,
for the
we
tour,
we rehearsed last week in Nashville.
right?
Um, uh, for the fans that have seen the band in the past that are going to come see us this year, thank you in advance. Um, you're about to see a very different thing.
Oh,
We have new gear, we have new staging, we have new lighting, we have new concert footage on the video screen behind us, and we have done a lot of work pulling some songs out of the hat that we haven't done in a while.
oh, how cool.
as well as taking some of the songs that we have been doing that we will continue to do and putting a little spin on those. Maybe a different intro here or a different
Hmm.
ending there, or maybe a
Nice.
segue. And so we're really excited that the show we're delivering this summer is something new and different for the fans.
What I want to let the fans know, for anyone who maybe has not seen the band live, I was always a fan. I did not see the band live, and this was the first day I arrived. This is so crazy. The first day I arrived in Jacksonville, Florida, not only was Skynyrd playing downtown, but it was right before the home opener of the Jacksonville Jaguars season. So it was a Skynyrd concert, and then immediately after this Skynyrd concert, right across the street, it was the Jaguars home opener. But what I wanted to say is, I had never seen you guys live until
Uh,
then, and
yeah.
it's a whole different experience. And this is true, and I'm not saying it just because I'm talking to you. You know, fans that love Freebird, I'm talking chili bumps when you see the
Uh,
band live. I
well,
mean, really,
thank
it
you,
was that
Jodi.
kind of experience for me. You're welcome.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, and I get what you're saying because I'm a fan of the band too.
Right.
I was playing Freebird when I was 13 years old in a garage band with my friends from school.
So at that
So,
point, did you ever imagine that you would be the drummer for Skynyrd?
of
No.
course not. But it was never lost on me because, fast forward a few years later, I'm on stage and I'm looking over at Gary Rossington in the middle of Freebird and I'm thinking, yeah, this is pretty damn cool, isn't it? And
You
it's
got a
still pretty damn cool.
you got a really good gig, Michael. You really
Amen to
did.
that. No question about it. 26 years later, um, I still get called that guy from Damn Yankees, but that's cool. I love that too.
Another very cool band, by the way.
Another very cool band.
Another
But
very
yes,
cool band.
it has been a wonderful stretch of time with Skynyrd, and it continues to be onward and upward.
So you guys are going out on the road with ZZ Top, and I've been saying this all along since it was announced. What a great double bill. I mean, you talk
Yeah,
about bang for your buck,
big
sharp
time.
dressed, simple man tour.
Yeah, yeah.
Who came
You
up with
know,
that? Do you know?
I don't know, but it's very clever.
Right?
I will tell you that uh, Skynyrd and ZZ have worked together um, a fair amount of times, um, and you are right. It is bang for the buck, but also there's a lot of common thread. A lot of Skynyrd fans are also ZZ fans, and vice versa. And
Yes.
you've got the same kind of era of classic rock represented.
Right.
Um, we've all been friends for a long time. I've known the ZZ guys since my damn Yankee days, so I've known them
Okay.
over 30 years. And they're all wonderful people. And what's fun about this tour is it's a double bill tour. So
Right.
both bands play 90 minutes,
Hmm.
and we take turns flip flopping. So one
Okay.
night you play first, and the next night you close the show.
Like that. And
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys do too, because some days you get to finish your night of work earlier, right? When
absolutely.
you open. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So again, that show is July 21st. It's at the I Think Financial Amphitheater here in West Palm Beach. Tickets are still available, and I encourage fans to get those tickets
Great.
because this is one show you don't want to miss. We have the movie in theaters now, but you say it is coming to PBS in August. And of
Yeah.
course, yeah, the big gallery show. Again, Seminole Casino, Hard Rock Hotel, Wentworth Gallery, and that is July 20th. Go take a look at Michael's work, and you could even take home a print with you.
Even better.
Yeah. Michael, have a great day. And thanks so much for joining us today. Can't wait for the show.
Thank you, Jodi. I appreciate it very much. Have a good one.